purchasing agent or the manufacturing knowledge worker is looking for. They may not know the brand, but they know the specification. So it puts a high weight on great websites with great intuitive UIs. And these are new skills for industrial marketers. One of the things we always urge them to consider is that if you're not indexed in the big search engines or indexed in a specialized search engine like GlobalSpec, chances are that if a prospect doesn't know who you are, you don't exist. So the new skill set is digital marketing skills, internet savvy skills, and I guess at the enterprise level, a great website, and inside of that great website, a complete indexing of your traditional line card at the attribute level and at the specification level. And that's in effect what GlobalSpec does. That's our core competency, and that's what we try to bring to the manufacturing community and the manufacturing knowledge worker community.
Related to that, what do you anticipate these end users expecting from manufacturers in the future in terms of getting the information and detail they need to make their purchasing decisions? And how will manufacturers have to change in order to meet those expectations?
Well, I think it's more of the same. It's a skill set transformation to putting largely product information in online formats and in formats that users will find delightful. And I think the big idea that we see as important is the notion of a product data sheet, an electronic product data sheet for every product in a manufacturer's line that would have images, that would have descriptions, would have CAD models, would have spec tables, and that would be able to be searched off of a mass market search engine or off of a GlobalSpec search engine by long tail keyword strings. I'm looking for a 15 horsepower brushless DC gear motor. How do I find it? What are my choices? What are my options? And that's the expectation of the user community. So the supplier community really needs to align with that expectation.
How does GlobalSpec assist suppliers with reaching their target audience?
Well, what we've done is we've largely aggregated the user community at pretty significant scale levels. I had mentioned earlier that GlobalSpec has 5.8 million registered users worldwide, and we can parse and slice those 5.8 million registered users into very discrete target marketing cells. I just want to reach aeronautic engineers, or I just want to reach material handling specialists in Asia, or I just want to reach them in North America. And given the fact that our business model is a registered user business model, we have their permission to attach their demographic information, who they are, with their clickstream behavior. So the power of that for an industrial marketer is just enormous. And it all kind of revolves around the notion of really the traditional big marketing objective. I want to reach my precise target audience with great efficiency. And the way we do that is we do that in terms of generating sales leads off of the dialogue, the online dialogue between the user and our database. I'm looking for DC motors, or I'm looking for semiconductors, or I'm looking for material handling equipment. And making that connection between buyer and seller on the database delights the user, and the OEM manufacturer gets a qualified, contactable sales lead. Other ways we do that are through our 60/40 newsletters that go out, again, on a sliced vertical basis, where OEMs and distributors can promote their products and their technology, again, to very targeted audiences. And I think that the newest innovation that we focused on is taking the concept of great physical trade shows and doing them virtually. Again, where you bring buyer and seller together in a very targeted environment, which is both rich with information and product presentation. I guess the end result of all that is a connection of buyer and seller, and for the OEM, for the supplier, for the distributor, it's a great qualified sales lead Or, at the ultimate expression of that, it's the ability to make a sale online directly.
Final question for you this morning, Jeff. Could you offer us a glimpse of some of your future initiatives, and also where do you foresee growth opportunities for GlobalSpec in the future?
Well, I think at this point our big growth opportunities lie in format expansion. I'd mentioned we have just begun to experiment and pioneer virtual trade shows for the manufacturing community. In 2009, we pioneered 3 events ourselves in areas like motion control and renewable energy. This year, 2010, we are actively producing 22 shows and have an editorial calendar already built for 2011 that'll feature 40 shows. So we see that as an explosive growth opportunity for us as we plug into the $13 billion that are spent on business-to-business trade events. And the ability to do it virtually, online, delivers all of the traditional values at enormously reduced costs, to the exhibitor and to the attendee who would have to otherwise travel. So that's a big growth area for us. I can see our database continuing to grow. Today we have embedded in that database 28,000 industrial catalogs that combinatorially explodes out to in excess of 200 million searchable parts. That database will continue to grow as we scale globally. And to date, most of our focus has been on North America. From here forward, our focus will be, truly global. In fact, of our 5.8 million registered users, 40% are already non-North American, largely Pacific Rim and Asia based. So, product growth, innovation of media formats, and international expansion are, high on our list.
Great. It was a pleasure talking to you this morning, Jeff.
Great. Thank you.